A little chemical imbalance once in a while is not a bad thing. Let me start by saying.
I can do it for you. I don't know. Okay. It's tough. You gotta push the screen, so I'll do it for you.
Alright. Everyone knows I'm here. I do the electrical for everybody, and I do the lights, the panels, and all that good stuff in high voltage. But what got me here a long time ago was I was a low voltage contractor in the city of Chicago for a local 134 union company, and I started doing hotels. I did hotels all over the United States. I had crews moving all over the place. They didn't have apartments and they didn't have cars. I had them so busy that they would travel from state to state. They would rent a car, they would do the job, and then before they would go anywhere, they'd get in an airplane and go back to another state and finish the job that they started. That was great. That was before 2007, and it took a crap. I niched myself into a business that was hotel oriented. And I had 1 month in my life where every one of my customers called me up and said, Chris, we're not building a hotel next year. So I had to change my game real fast because it basically put me right out of business. I went to selling Wi-Fi systems for hotels that were in existence and not being built. I did that for a couple years and then jumped back into starting to do cabling when I came down here to Florida. But I didn't have my electrical contractor license back then. And I had my low voltage license. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's pretty much what we do. You can flip through a few of them. We do data racks. This isn't a hotel. This is the cabling that comes from it's all Cat 6, comes in from the guest rooms, comes through into this closet called an IDF, Independent Distribution Frame Closet, and then it goes to, you can just hit another one. It goes to these racks, these data racks. Every one of these wires has a guest room number on it. That wire then is trimmed, cut, and the jack is put on it, and then it has a jack in the guest room and a jack in this room right here, and they match each other perfectly. And then we have to certify them. It's called level 3 certifications. I won't get into that Chinese, but before we can turn it over to ownership to get our final payments. This is the one we're doing right now. It's a twin tower in Frisco, Texas. So we do a little bit of lights here and there and fans here and there, but we also do monsters. And this is a monster we're doing right now in Frisco, Texas. It's an office building going up on the left, and on the right here, it's the hotel. It's a big one. So my guys will be there. It's about a 1.5-year project. I'll have 3 guys basically have been there for almost 9 months now, full time. So it's a project, and it's a lot of wire, it's a lot of racks. It's a big expensive project to run. This is what you see when we for voice lines. Ron's probably the most familiar with this.
Right here.
There. Oh, there you are. This is what your voice terminations do for your guest room telephones. All those cables you see coming down dressed in like that go to an extension number. The extension number goes down to the hotel phone system. So when you dial 721, it goes up through, comes through there, from the downstairs up, and finally gets to the guest room, and the phone rings 721. We do data racks and MDF closets. We install all the data racks around like that. You can go to the next one. And then we run big cables. You know, right there, that strip of blue cable probably has maybe 150, 200 Cat 6 cables in it. By the time that job will be done, there'll be 3 or 4 rows of that going into that MDF closet. And that's a data rack that you saw that the front of it was all the trimmings before it got trimmed up, and that's when it was trimmed up. It's all labeled to the guest room number. We run fiber optics to all those floors. Then once we run the fiber optics, we connect the fiber optics to switches. Actually, that's right. That's where I stop my part of the project. Then I turn it over to the IT guys. Ron comes in there. He plugs in his G-Bix and all that good stuff to the switches, and he makes the hotel talk. There's just more of our cabling done. When you see it all in tie wraps and zip ties, well, zip ties are great to get your stuff organized when you're doing big cable bundles like that. But then after you're done with the tie wraps, in order for your correct certifications and the correct installation for data cable, you go back and you clip all those thousands of tie wraps, and you come back and you wrap them with Velcro. So everything's wrapped with Velcro, so none of the wires are getting pinched or squeezed, so they can communicate correctly and not have any issues. That's just another one dressing down in the back of the rack. This isn't my work. This is my guys in Texas. This is that job that one of those floors of that big job I just showed you. they do beautiful work. My guys, I hate to say the word artists, but with data cables and running in those closets and dressing everything in, they are truly artists, what they do. Sometimes too much. I have to tell them to stop being so neat and hurry up. The time is money. They don't care how long it takes, because they're clicking their hours away as it goes. So it's a balancing act you got to play with them. And that was pretty much it. Like I said, we do a lot of low voltage, and our low voltage niche was in the 2007 when it came to a crash and nobody built any more hotels anywhere. I had to go change things up, so then I decided to go after my electrical license. Started taking the Holt, is it John Holt? What's Holt School of Electrical or something like that? And took the course, took the electrical test 3 times, finally passed it. It was a son of a bitch, let me tell you. And then it was, it turned into this. And then Robbie brought me in here, and everything's great. And we're slowly building this electrical company up. It's not quite as big as my dollar-wise as my low voltage just yet, but if it could match my low voltage, I'd be a happy camper. So that's pretty much it. So if you guys have anybody that knows that does a lot of data work or needs data work, fiber optics, coax for TVs in big amounts. I'm not talking about we need to move a TV from this location to this in the room. I don't want to do that. I want to do hundreds of TVs, hundreds of data connections, actually thousands. But that's pretty much it. That's a little bit different part of my business that I never really talked about with you guys. Because
Panels.
it's too vague for a group like this. I hate to say that, but how many people actually know people that are building hotels? It's oh, there you go. Okay, I mean, that's a given right there. Okay, Gil, I expect to hear from you after class. Robbie, do you have any questions?
What was the V in the? We all.
For Ortel.
Chris, that's